Доброе утро, уважаемые участники. Потихоньку начнем, да? По времени. Итак, всем доброе утро. Меня зовут Гульнара Исаева Раскуловна. Я являюсь национальным координатором программы Европейского союза Эразмус плюс в Кыргызстане. Наш офис находится здесь, в бизнес-центре «Авангард». Наши контакты Google выходят первым рядом, да, как нас найти, чтобы все знали. Сегодня мы приветствуем вас на информационном дне, и сегодня информационный день имеет особую цель привлечь больше новеньких. Да? У нас приоритет, чтобы увеличить охват программы и привлечь новенькие высшие учебные заведения, которые не принимали участие, которые находятся в отдаленных районах, которые давно принимали участие, но сейчас не принимают участие и так далее, и так далее. И целью сегодняшнего информационного дня является именно объяснить посттренд 1. Да? Сейчас, минутку. Следующий слайд можно? Да? Угу. Программа Эразмус плюс Европейского союза на самом деле очень широкая, да, и многие участники задаются вопросом, что когда вы открываете в Google информацию про Эразмус, и она описывает, что поддерживает направление молодежи, спорта, профессиональный уровень образования, школьное образование и так далее. И тут нужно четко понимать разницу, что программа Эразмус плюс для Кыргызстана только поддерживает 3 направления. Первое направление – это усиление потенциала высшего образования, да, в котором есть 3 направления: Стренд 1, Стренд 2, Стренд 3. Это Жан Моне. И третье направление – это академическая мобильность. Поэтому только вот эти компоненты в рамках компонента интернационализации, они реализуются в Кыргызстане. Что касается вопросов молодежи, спорта, то эти компоненты программы, они доступны только для европейских стран, чтобы у вас не было путаницы, да. И у нас на сайте мы объясняем, что кыргызские вузы имеют доступ только к этим компонентам. И сейчас мы разберем основные структуру программы. Основные компоненты, что вам нужно знать о программе, что она, именно возьмем компонент по повышению потенциала, да, в секторе высшего образования, что оно делится на 3 направления: Стренд 1, Стренд 2, Стренд 3. По статистике за последние 3 года мы видим, что в основном все наши высшие учебные заведения подают проектные предложения на Стренд 2 или Стренд 3. Да? Стренд 3 очень у нас популярное направление, это национальные реформы. Стренд 2 – это бюджет от 800 тысяч евро до 1 миллиона евро, и они поддерживают почти все аспекты, да, реформы высшего образования. Но Стренд 1 у нас остается без внимания. И когда мы делали информационную кампанию, мы говорили, что Стренд 1 направлен на новичков, на более-менее маленькие вузы, чтобы обеспечить доступ к программе. Да? Но все наши вузы решили, что мы крутые, и сразу побежали на Стренд 2 и Стренд 3. Поэтому Стренд 1 имеет очень хороший бюджет, и он не осваивается, потому что количество проектных предложений по Стренд 1 не было, например, да, в прошлом году, позапрошлом году. И мы поняли, наверное, что недостаточно информации мы предоставили, и недостаточно информируем вас, что же такое Стренд 1, да. Вот, поэтому сегодня к нам приехала моя коллега с исполнительного агентства, с европейского по образованию и культуре, Марисоль Домингес Парадо. Это Project Officer отдела по повышению потенциала, да, в сфере высшего образования. И как раз-таки она сделает основную презентацию, что такое Стренд 1, все процедуры, как можно подавать, на что обращать внимание. Потом даст советы, да, по улучшению качества проектных заявок. И именно это тот человек, который занимается координацией, да, всех проектов по Центральной Азии, по Эразмус+. Итак, я вернусь к своей презентации. Основные структурные моменты программы Эразмус. Самое главное, чем отличается конкурс, приоритеты и регионы. Все страны, 150 стран, которые получают помощь от программы Эразмус+, да, они называются страны, не ассоциированные с программой, их 150, они разделены на 12 регионов. Кыргызстан является частью региона 6, Центральная Азия, это 5 стран Центральной Азии плюс Афганистан. Наш регион имеет только два приоритета. Это зеленый Green Deal, и второе – это устойчивый рост. Да? Только по этим двум приоритетам вы можете подавать проектные предложения. Если вы выбираете другой регион, то у этого региона должны быть тоже такие приоритеты. Да? То есть вы не можете подать с Африкой там, или Западными Балканами, но если у этих регионов другие приоритеты, то ваше проектное предложение не пройдет даже первый отборочный этап. Поэтому в руководстве Эразмус всегда обращайте внимание на приоритеты. Регион 6, у нас всего 2 приоритета. Да? Эти приоритеты достаточно широкие, и они охватывают много аспектов, да, реформы высшего образования, поэтому для вас тут большое поле, да, для работы, какое проектное предложение вы можете подать. Следующая новинка – это то, что бюджет, да, теперь проектных предложений основан на подходе lump-sum. То есть вы отчитываетесь раньше не на основе документов, да, поддерживающих, а на основе результатов. Если вы достигаете результатов и на эти результаты потрачены эти деньги, то проект считается успешным. И Европейская комиссия стремится к упрощению процесса, да, дать вам больше гибкости, чтобы вы получили больше инструментов для достижения ваших заявленных результатов в проектном предложении. Ну и последний аспект – это то, что все проекты теперь управляются через платформу, через электронную платформу, называется FTOP, Sigma, да. Вы все, наверное, особенно новенькие вузы, получили свой идентификационный номер, да. Если нет, то прошу связаться с нашим специалистом Нургулей, да, она помогает получить этот номер на платформе. Только через этот идентификационный номер вы можете подать свое проектное предложение. Что это такое? Вы загружаете основные документы, устав вашей организации, да, кто является руководителем вашей организации, контактные данные, финансовая отчетность, аудиторские последние отчеты и так далее, да. Вот. И как работать с платформой, у нас на сайте висит руководство, да, как зарегистрироваться, как поддерживать переписку, если вы получите потом грант, как управлять этим грантом. Есть 3 руководства, разработанных Европейским агентством, и все они висят у нас на сайте с переводом. Опс. И так как Марисоль будет представлять по Стренд 1 основную информацию, я скажу немного о Стренд 2, да, направление 2, какие направления оно поддерживает. Первое – это внедрение инноваций в секторе высшего образования, направленные на удовлетворение потребностей рынка труда, да, любые ваши проектные идеи, которые соответствуют этой реформе. Не секрет, что многие подают проектные предложения, потом они не проходят, и они повторяют эти проектные предложения из года в год, но инновация уже утрачивается, да. И перед тем, как подать проектное предложение или развивать свою проектную идею, проверьте, пожалуйста, у нас на сайте, какие проекты уже реализуются или были реализованы, потому что Эразмус стремится поддерживать и внедрять все-таки инновации в секторе высшего образования, да, внедрение CTS, внедрение трехуровневой системы – это уже не новое, это было 15-10 лет назад, да, нужны уже новые идеи, новые предложения в этом отношении, то, пожалуйста. Второе, самое популярное направление во всех проектах Эразмус у нас в Кыргызстане – это модернизация и разработка новых учебных программ. Это самый распространенный вид проектов, да, и в основном по статистике 90% всех наших проектов направлены на разработку учебных программ. Следующее направление – это реализация инновационного обучения, да, и преподавания. Следующее направление, которое не очень развито у нас в Кыргызстане, это усиление связи с бизнесом, да, и исследовательские методы. По этому направлению за последние 3 года у нас не было проектных предложений, поэтому если у вас идеи есть по этому направлению, то было бы хорошо. Следующее направление – это усиление потенциала, да, высших учебных заведений к сетевой работе. Не секрет, что наше Министерство образования, да, в центральноазиатских регионах сейчас продвигает создание единого образовательного пространства на уровне Центральной Азии, признание квалификации, да, результатов обучения. Все-таки мы соседи. Вот. И если у вас будут по этому направлению проектные идеи, то тоже welcome. Следующее направление – это модернизация, да, высших учебных заведений. Это могут быть структурные изменения, процесс принятия решений, демократизация управления, автономия, да, высших учебных заведений и так далее, и так далее. И последнее направление – это реформирование управления и менеджмента, да, в системе высших учебных заведений. Так, наоборот. Ну и самый сложный вид проектов – это направление 3. Здесь важно участие обязательное Министерства образования наше, да, и эти проекты должны быть направлены на изменение системы, на внедрение каких-то реформ на национальном уровне, на изменение законодательства. То есть такие изменения, которые будут касаться всех высших учебных заведений, да. И у нас есть несколько проектов. Кыргызстан довольно успешен в этом, да, реализует несколько проектов по направлению 3. Это у нас большой проект национальный сейчас идет по финансовой автономии, да, следующий проект у нас несколько, да, по внедрению разных реформ, по PhD программ степени были, реализуется проект. Вот, поэтому здесь должны быть серьезные изменения. Но почему-то все наши кыргызские вузы хотят в тренд 3. Сразу идут на это направление. Это очень сложное направление. И если у вас есть идеи, как менять систему высшего образования на уровне Центральной Азии, то было бы хорошо, да, с вовлечением 5 центральноазиатских республик, и, соответственно, вам нужно вовлечение Министерства образования с каждой центральноазиатской республики, чтобы делать изменения на региональном уровне. Вот, поэтому это очень сложный вид проектов, он и самый длительный, на 4 года рассчитан, 3 или 4 года, ну и, конечно, самый дорогой, да, бюджет для этого вида проекта составляет 1 миллион евро. Все проектные предложения у нас оцениваются по 4 основным критериям. И оценка всех проектных предложений делается независимыми экспертами. Эти эксперты нанимаются европейским агентством, да, исполнительным. Это комиссия. Все они делают независимо друг от друга оценку всех проектных предложений. Поэтому здесь очень важно обратить внимание на вот эти 4 критерия. Более подробно описание каждого критерия будет даваться Марисоль, да, на какие моменты обратить внимание, какие слабые моменты, какие сильные моменты должны быть, да, указаны в проектном предложении. Этот слайд просто для вашей информации, что нужно обращать на вот эти 4 критерия. Ну и немножко по статистике, да, пройдемся, чтобы мотивировать вас, что все-таки надо принимать участие в программе Эразмус. Немного цифр. Значит, первая фаза программы Эразмус началась в 2013 году. Она заканчивается вот в 2027 году, вторая фаза уже. И во время этого периода были реализованы столько-то проектов. Участие наших проектов, по последним данным министерства, у нас сейчас 81 высших учебных заведений, да, программа покрывает 21 вуз, да, а в академической мобильности у нас 28 вузов принимает участие, по capacity building у нас 21 вуз принимает участие. В основном это проекты по модернизации учебных программ. Опс. И теперь по вузам, наверное, вам будет интересно узнать, кто у нас чемпионы и принимает самое активное участие в реализации проектов Эразмус. На первом месте у нас это Кыргызский государственный технический университет имени Разакова, второе это Иссык-Кульский государственный университет, они вот по 10 проектов. На втором месте у нас Ошский государственный университет, тоже наш активный участник. И на третьем месте у нас медицинская высшая школа медицины, да. Вот это наши чемпионы, которые показывают качественное написание проектов и, более того, качественную реализацию проекта. Да? И охват по вузам, да, у нас аграрный университет, Кыргызский КЭУ, Нарынский госуниверситет, дипломатическая академия прорвалась за последние 2 года, 4 проекта, ОШТУ, Кыргызский национальный университет, КГУСТА стал частью КТУ, Алато университет 3 проекта, МУК 3 проекта, Таласский 3 проекта, Адам университет 3 проекта, КГМА 2 проекта и Американский университет, БГУ, Джалабад по 1 проекту, да, и Джалабадский международный университет. Вот. Я очень надеюсь, что новенькие вузы пополнят этот список после сегодняшнего информационного дня и напишите все-таки проектное предложение по Стренд 1. Это за последние 3 года, да, сколько проектов было отобрано. И за последние 5 лет появилась тенденция, что кыргызские вузы начали выступать грантхолдером. Да? Первым грантхолдером был это Международный университет Кыргызстана, потом МВШМ. И последний проект КГТУ уже грантхолдером выступил, одного большого национального проекта. Поэтому потенциал вузов растет, и они уже показали, что могут выступать координирующим институтом, да, всех проектов. Вот, на следующем слайде увидите участие центральноазиатских вузов в Эразмусе, да, по проектам по повышению потенциала. После Республики Казахстан и Узбекистан Кыргызстан занимает 3-е место по количеству проектов. Каждый год кыргызские вузы подают 25-23 проектных предложения, и в год из них выбираются 2 или 3 предложения, да, проектов. Вот. Ну и последний результат проектов – это в 2022 году, какие проекты были отобраны, просто для вашей информации. Это Берника проект, тут грантхолдером выступает медицинская высшая школа медицины, наш университет. Второй проект – это по финансовой автономии, это структурный проект, направление 3. Грантхолдером тут выступает Кыргызский государственный технический университет. И на слайде вы увидите участников этого проекта. Ну и самый сложный, наверное, амбициозный проект – это по водной дипломатии. Здесь грантхолдером выступает дипломатическая академия. Сложность этого проекта заключается в том, что он представляет 5 стран Центральной Азии, по 2 вуза из каждой страны. И координатором этого проекта Центральноазиатского выступает дипломатическая академия. И последние результаты, 2 новых проекта, которые сейчас ведут подготовку к подписанию грантового соглашения. Это вот Иссык-Кульский университет, Нарынский госуниверситет. И по зеленым навыкам у нас вот... Нет, это прошлый год, извиняюсь. Здесь проект «Зеленый», тоже грантхолдером выступает дипломатическая академия. Это большой национальный проект. В нем принимает участие 10 вузов из Кыргызстана. Вот, и он реализуется 2-й год сейчас. Вот, последние результаты 2024 года. Вот эти проекты сейчас ведут подготовку к подписанию грантового соглашения. И это 3 проекта. Один Silkway, там будет Ошгу и Джалалабадский госуниверситет. И 2-й проект – это БГУ и Университет Центральной Азии. Это новые 2 вуза, которые принимают участие. БГУ только 2-й раз за все годы программы, а Университет Центральной Азии 6 лет назад принимал участие, тоже почти как новенькие. И 3-й университет – это, 3-й проект – Дипломатическая академия и Иссык-Кульский госуниверситет. И последняя тенденция, что в проекте начали принимать участие неправительственные организации. Да? Неправительственные организации тоже могут выступать партнером проектных предложений и нести свою экспертизу. Ну и наши контакты нашего офиса, как вы можете нас найти. Мы предоставляем консультации. Что касается первичной информации, информационной, что такое Эразмус, мы сделали ряд видео на 3 языках, и сейчас повесим их на веб-сайт. Теперь широкомасштабных информационных кампаний мы не будем делать. Первичную информацию посмотрите, пожалуйста, сначала видео, да, обучающее. Когда у вас появится проектная идея, тогда уже приходите к нам, и мы будем больше консультировать и поможем вам планировать ваше проектное предложение. Да? Ну а теперь позвольте мне предоставить слово моей коллеге из Брюсселя Марисоль Домингес-Парада. Она вам представит основную информацию по Стренд 1. И, пожалуйста, пользуйтесь максимально, что она здесь с нами сегодня. Вы можете задавать свои все вопросы вживую, да, и это именно тот человек, который отвечает за реализацию всех проектов по Центральной Азии. И нам очень повезло, что она сегодня здесь с нами. Да. This button. I cannot get.
actually. No. It's okay. Yeah. Big, this one. Yeah. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Welcome to all the new universities and the most experienced university that will be here presenting their experience. My name is Maria Sol Dominguez. I am project officer at the European Executive Agency of Education and Culture, and I deal with the capacity building in higher education action in Central Asia. So today here, I will focus on strand 1. That is the strand that receives less proposals. And we are very interested in receiving more proposals because we are not covering this strand. And it is a pity because this money is being transferred to other strands that are much more competitive than this one. So we would like to receive very good quality proposals to be funded under this strand. I will go through the specificities of the strand, keeping into account that my presentation today will be based on last call for proposals. So next call for proposals expected for November 2024. That will be the call for proposal for 2025. Maybe there will be some slight changes. So you should always look at the program guide, because the program guide is the document, the reference document for the submission of proposals, where you can have all the specificities and all the changes and requirements to submit your proposal. So I think Gulnara already explained a little bit what is capacity building in higher education about. We are inserted in key action 2, cooperation among organizations and institutions. Erasmus Plus program is a very big program in the European Commission, addressing different fields: education, culture, media, youth, citizenship, vocational training. But we are in this key action 2, cooperation among organizations and institutions. In Central Asia, we only deal with higher education. In other regions, maybe they are dealing also with vocational training or other fields. But now in this program, maybe in the future that will change. That depends on the funding and on the political decision of the Commission. But now we are focusing on higher education and how to cooperate with European universities. How universities in Central Asia can cooperate with universities located in Europe and in other parts of the world, of course. This program is focused on the needs of the third countries non-associated to the program. There is a difference between countries associated to the program and countries non-associated to the program. The associated to the program are 6 countries: Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Turkey, Serbia, and North Macedonia. And the European countries, all of them are part of the program countries. They are known as program countries, European countries plus countries associated to the program. The rest of the countries are considered countries non-associated to the program. So we are focusing on the needs of these countries, not on the needs of the European countries, but on the needs of countries non-associated to the program. This is also important when preparing your proposal, mainly for European countries. The proposal must target the EU Erasmus Plus program priorities and the cross-regional priorities. We will see later on which are those priorities. In the program for Central Asia, we don't have national priorities specific in the program, Of course, the national priorities are the priorities that are established by the national laws and regulations. So you should keep in mind what are the priorities, the policy priorities concerning higher education in your country. The activities of the program must benefit, as I say, the eligible third country, and they are expected to have also an impact in the country and to address the priorities, including the global gateway. That is new, that was introduced very recently. The global gateway is a new European strategy to boost smart, clean, and secure links in digital, energy, and transport, and to strengthen health, education, and research systems across the world. So that will be maybe more detailed in the new call for proposals, but in some countries and in some regions, it is important to keep in mind that the global gateway strategy. So the regions eligible you are here a map of the regions in the world. We are in Central Asia, region 6. Afghanistan was included in this region in the last program. Before it was in Asia. Now it's in Central Asia. And region 4 has disappeared, as you can see. That was Russia. Because Russia now is sanctioned and she cannot participate. Russia cannot participate in the program. And this is also very important for the relations with Russia, equipment mainly, that equipment from Russia should not be purchased because that is forbidden by the European Commission now due to the sanctions against the country. This is the budget for 2024. You see Central Asia. In the past, the budget was not higher, but more projects were selected because Central Asia was collaborating a lot with Russia. So there were many projects involving Russia. So that made that the number of projects selected per call were more or less 15. Now we have 8-9 projects per call. In strand 1, the budget is around 5 million euros. And last year we expected to fund 2 projects. Finally, we only funded 1 because of the lack of quality of the projects. We will see what is the threshold that is required in order to be eligible, to be in the list of fundable proposals. In strand 2, 3 proposals were funded, and now we are funding 4 proposals because budget from region 1 passed to region 2. This strand 2 is very competitive. We receive a lot of proposals, and the score needed to get in the list, in the main list, is very high. In strand 3, the proposals, the budget of this proposal is around 1 million euros, and we are funding 1 proposal per year. It's less competitive also than strand 2, but the number of proposals that we receive are very weak mainly because the role of the ministry is not very evident, and the commitment and the involvement of the ministry in the project is not clear, and the activities, the tasks allocated to the ministries are not sufficient. They are in the project in a testimonial way, let's say. So that is why these strand 3 proposals are not of good quality, and we would like also to increase the quality of this strand. These are the objectives of the program. Here you have the key words of this program: modernization of higher educational systems, societal impact, accessibility, innovation, cooperation, regional integration, governance. You will have a more detailed description of all of these objectives in the program guide. So I will not spend much time. I prefer to go to more practical issues important for you, because this is already written in the program. So now the overarching priorities. We have 5 overarching priorities, only 2 in Central Asia: Green Deal transformation and sustainable growth and jobs. When you present cross-regional proposals involving other regions than Central Asia, you should take into consideration that all the regions and all the countries involved are addressing the same, one of the 2 overarching priorities. Because in some regions, they are covering most of them, but the proposal mentioned, for instance, we had a case, Central Asia, sustainable growth and jobs, region 2, digital transformation. That is not eligible. It's a pity, because that is a lack of attention when reading at the conditions of the eligibility. It's clear that all the countries, all the regions should tackle one of the 2 overarching priorities proposed for Central Asia. Here we have the 3 strands. Strand 1 is fostering in high access and cooperation in higher education. Strand 2, partnerships for transformation in higher education. And Strand 3, structural reform projects. The duration of the strands 1 and 2 are from 24 months till 36. And it can be extended 1 year for strand 3, up to 4 years. The budget is also different, of course. Strand 1, the ambition of this project is less than the ambition of strand 2. So the budget is also shorter. 200,000 until 400,000 per project for strand 1, 400,000 till 800,000 per strand 2, and up to 1 million per strand 3. What is the problem here? That sometimes we receive proposals in strand 1 that could be submitted in strand 2, because they are very ambitious, and they are not very reliable, because you cannot do the same in strand 1 and strand 2. So you should pay attention that the requirements of strand 1 and strand 2 are not the same. And the involvement of newcomers is not taken into consideration sometimes in strand 1. Here you have the target groups, higher educations from less developed countries, higher educations located in remote regions. I am talking about strand 1. Attention to that. Huh? No, I am not talking about the other strands. So specificities is less developed countries. In Central Asia, the less developed countries is only Afghanistan. And they are not participating now for political reasons in the program. Located in remote regions, newcomers or less experienced, individuals with less opportunities. That are the target groups. And here, the different actions that can be covered in strand 1. We have divided in 3 thematics areas. This is very well described also in the program guide. Please read carefully to the program guide, because it is very clear there. So actions aimed at enhancing management and or administration capacities, to ensure high quality and relevance education, and to increase accessibility of students, staff with few opportunities. This kind of actions for instance, could involve reforming and modernizing the university governance, including the enhancements of services of particular interest for students guidance, counseling, job orientation, etc. Establishing of strengthening international relations offices, mainly in universities that have not a big experience in participating in international projects, and elaborating international strategies. Establishing new or developing existing quality assurance units and processes, strategies within the institution, creating and increasing the capacity of planning and evaluation units, building capacities to support students and staff mobility activities, developing modules or study programs or programs with technical and professional orientation, developing capacities for postgraduate students and academic staff, and promoting their mobility, implementing training courses of higher education staff, creating synergies with the business sector and other organizations active in the labor market, developing remote and inclusive learning pathways by relying on digital technology and e-learning for vulnerable students, developing specific services aiming at ensuring equal and fair learning opportunities to students with disabilities, developing initiatives addressed to reduce the barriers for disadvantaged people, or to empower women and ethnic religious minorities, and contributing to creating inclusive environments that foster equity and equality, and that are responsive to the needs of the wider community. As you see, there are a variety of actions that could be included in this strand one. And it is a pity that they are not sufficiently explored in the proposal that we receive. What is the purpose of this strand one? To focus on the needs of the third countries, I already mentioned, not associated to the Erasmus Plus program, to target the priority of the third countries, and to maximize the benefit of the funding. That seems to be evident, but it is not always the case. Types of projects: national projects, regional projects, and cross-regional projects. National projects in Central Asia, okay. In other regions, they are not eligible, but in Central Asia, all the three kinds of projects are eligible. The national projects involve only one country. The multi-country regional projects involve several countries in the same region, that is in Central Asia. And multi-country cross-regional projects involve several universities, several countries located in different regions. For instance, Central Asia and Eastern Partnership. Projects involving Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan, and maybe Georgia or Armenia or Kosovo, neighboring countries or other regions in the world. You can address a project, present a project addressing multi-country. It is well justified. You can present a project involving Latin American countries and Central Asian countries, but it should be very well justified, the necessity of this collaboration, transnational collaboration. Now, who can participate in the program? We already mentioned higher education institutions or organizations of higher education institutions. Who else can participate? Associations, public or private organizations active in the labor market or in the fields of education, training, youth. They can participate, but they cannot be coordinators. Coordinators, only higher education institutions. Applicant must be established in one EU member states or third country as non-associated to the program or associated to the program. The applicant applies always on behalf of the consortium. So there is a consortium, there is a budget, but the only application is submitted by the coordinator, by the applicant. That can be different, the applicant and the coordinator, but usually they are the same organization. Now, this is very important because most of the ineligible cases, mainly in the first year, are due to this. Attention is not paid to the very, very strict, let's say, eligibility criteria. So for national projects, we need at least 2 EU member states. Each of them needs to involve 2 organizations. And at least one of the organizations should be higher education institution. And that is easier now because in the past there were 2 higher education institutions. So we are simplifying and making easier. But you should, that is eligibility criterion. If this is not met, your proposal will not be assessed. So it is important to pay attention to that. Only one eligible third country non-associated to the program and involving at least 2 higher education institutions. We are talking about national projects, so it's only one country, but at least 2 higher education institutions. Here there is an exception that doesn't apply to Central Asia because that is in case of small countries where only a few universities, where one university covers 50% of the study population. But that is not applicable for Central Asia. For multi-country projects, strand 1 and strand 2. At least 2 EU member states, the same. Involving at least 1 higher education institution, the same. And each of these countries must involve at least, sorry, I say that, 2 eligible third countries non-associated to the program, each of them 2 participating countries. So there must be minimum of 2 countries because that is a multi-country project, of course. So at least 2 countries and 2 higher educations, at least. Not 1 as a European, but here is 2 compulsory. That seems very simple, but we had many ineligibles, up to almost 20% the first year. That is very high, because these eligibility criteria were not met. So this is a pity, because you spend a lot of effort, a lot of time preparing the proposal, and because of the bad eligibility criteria, you don't meet the conditions of the universities participating, and the proposal is excluded. So our criteria, that is very important, because your proposal will be assessed against all these 4 our criteria. Relevance, quality of the project design and implementation, quality of the partnership and the cooperation arrangements, and sustainability, impact, and dissemination of the expected results. The first 2, relevance and the first 2, relevance and the quality of the project design, have a 30% of the total score. So against 10 points, relevance, the maximum is 30 points, quality of the project design 30, quality of the partnership 20, and impact 20. To reach the threshold, at least 60% of the total score should be achieved. I mean, the proposal should receive at least 60 points to be eligible. 60 points in the total, and also at least 50% in each criterion. So at least half of the points on each criterion. The second step, that is the first step, made by external experts that are hired by the agency. So they assess your proposal. There are several experts in each proposal, 2-3 experts, depending on the score. I mean, depending on the agreement they have, sometimes we need more experts to involve more. Then we make a consultation with the EU delegation, and only the projects that have passed successfully the EU delegation approval, because they are not in conflict with other projects, they are not repeated, so they provide us very practical information because they know better the field. So those projects are considered eligible and put in the list, in the main list, or in the reserve list, depending on the funding, and are proposed for funding, depending on the budget available. So let's go to the relevance. Relevance is very important. It's very important, and there are very different criteria that are considered, that experts consider when they are analyzing the proposal. And one of them is the purpose. The proposal must be relevant to the objectives and activities of the action and specificities of the strand. It must constitute a relevant, an adequate response to the target, to the needs of the target country and to the target groups. In case of people, the necessary involvement of people with fewer opportunities, that must be clearly explained, and to the extent to which the proposal addresses also the overarching priorities. The objectives must be based on a sound needs analysis. They should be clearly defined, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Smart objectives. So they should address issues relevant to the participating organizations and be in line with the modernization, development, the internationalization strategy of the targeted higher education institutions and development strategies. And finally, the proposal should show the link with the EU policy and initiatives. Why this proposal takes into account and enhances complementarity, synergies with other interventions funded by the EU and other entities. So the complementarity with other projects that have already been funded. We are not reinventing the wheel, but we should take into consideration other projects that have already been funding and how they will be used to build up our proposal. The European added value, the proposal should demonstrate that similar results cannot be achieved without the cooperation with higher education institutions in Europe or in other member states or in other countries. So that are the main sub-criteria that are relevant for the assessors when analyzing your proposal. The weaknesses here. The main weakness is the lack of appropriate need analysis, adapted to the features of the project. And maybe there is a very big weakness in the detection of the needs of the institution. The institutional needs analysis, in most of the cases, is very fair. The needs analysis should be based on recent data extracted from reliable sources. For instance, statistics from official publications, findings from a survey carried following a sound methodology, legal or policy developments in the country, that make necessary to develop new interventions. For instance, the development of a new strategy in the country for developing employability. So that should be very clear what are the sources proving that our analysis has been done and the project is necessary and responds to these needs. Another weakness is that proposals don't include sufficiently in a clear way the target groups or beneficiaries of the proposal. That are the two main weaknesses in this strand, in this our criterion. So the second quality of the project design and implementation, that is very important because it covers a lot of sub-criteria. So this criterion will look at the consistency between several elements in the project, like the objectives, methodology, activities, and budget, and the coherence among all of them. Sometimes there is no coherence, and we will see later, there are contradictions in several parts of the proposal in the information provided. So the design of the logical framework matrix is very important here. You have to establish indicators which are objectively verifiable and identify the baseline and target values. You need to know where you are and where you want to go. What do you want to achieve with your project? What are your targets? What are your ambitions in the project? What are the indicators that can be measured to prove that the objectives have been met? The outputs and outcomes must be coherent and feasible, not too ambitious. You should be sure that you are going to achieve the objectives, the ambitious objectives that some projects may sometimes have. So they should be realistic, to target the people, necessary people that you are sure are going to be met, because sometimes projects are very ambitious in the proposal, and then when they implement the project, it's impossible. The targets were too high. So it must be very realistically identified. Sometimes it is evident for the expert to see that is impossible. They are setting indicators with the involvement of these disabled people that is not realistic, because they don't have these people in the region. So sometimes it is very evident at evaluation level. The evaluator will look at the quality of the work plan also. A good work plan is a combination of elements. You have to design manageable work packages composed by appropriate activities and aligned with the objectives. So there is always a correlation between objectives, tasks, deliverables, work packages, and outcomes. So it must be a very clear relation. In some projects, we have activities that are not reflected in the deliverables. The deliverables are very poor. So that is a very big weakness, because the deliverables are very important. And you should explain very well the content of the deliverable. That is the main weakness, I would say, in this our criteria. And I see some projects where they are doing a lot of tasks. It is very well explained what they are doing, but it is not reflected in the deliverable. So that would be the main objectives of the work package: to create deliverables that are understandable, that are relevant, and that take into consideration all the work that has been achieved. Another important element is to pay attention to the budget. We are based on the lump sum two approach. You have to group the activities of the project in work packages, And each work package, sorry, has a budget allocated. So it's a allocation of resources to the work package that must be realistic also and well calculated. I mean, not too ambitious, because sometimes some work packages have allocation of resources too high that don't correspond to the activities and don't correspond to what is expected from the work package. So that is also assessed by the expert. Weaknesses. The preparation phase is too long. It's very important that the project starts when it is selected. We have cases now, projects that are going to sign the grant agreement and they are not prepared. That is not possible. You should be prepared to start your project because you already have analyzed the state of the situation, the needs, and you know that this project is necessary and you can implement it straight away. So sometimes the preparation phase is too long because the needs analysis is too fair. It was not well done during the preparation of the proposal. And we receive some proposals saying that the needs analysis will be provided in month 12. That is too late, because that means that we'll spend 1 year of your project analyzing your needs. At the latest, that should be done in month 6, fine-tuning the needs analysis, because of course your proposal is presented several months before and the situation may have changed. But not to take 1/2 or 1/3 of the project looking at your needs. The lack of consistency between the different parts of the proposal. There is many, we will see later also, contradictions in the proposal. So the experts don't know how to consider the data because the information is provided in different ways and in a contradictory way. The cost effectiveness of the proposal is not ensured. In many cases, staff costs are overestimated. In other cases, we have travel costs, and then when we start the project, partners ask to do the meeting, to organize the meeting online. But your project, your proposal has been selected on the basis of your budget proposed to the evaluators. So you cannot change that. I mean, you are saving money, and in that case, you should have said that the project needs to be organized online and not to meet your partners. So that is a big change in the proposal. We receive requests trying to change the travel, the meeting. So that is a problem also. That should be consistent, and since the beginning know what meetings are necessary to be face-to-face, because some of them are necessary to trust the confidence of your partners and to decide the important things, and others are not necessary and can be organized online. Then an unbalanced distribution of the budget. This is a problem in some projects because the budget is very bad balance among partners. In some cases, the coordinator takes too much money. In other cases, the allocation of tasks, maybe the coordinator takes more budget because he has a lot of tasks. So this is not a good distribution of the budget. So the tasks should be equally distributed according to the competencies of each partner. And it is not justified that one partner takes 40% of the budget. That is not a good project. Work packages. This is the building blocks of the proposal. The work packages are very important. The definition of the work package and the activities linked to the work package, the milestone, and the deliverables. All these concepts are new in this new approach, and sometimes they are confused. We will look at them in the next slides. Sorry, there were some people taking pictures. We will see more in detail now. Yeah. Task, milestone, deliverable. For instance, here we have an example. We have a proposal that is creating a new service, a new center. For instance, a center for students, for orientation of students. So what is a task? Task should be the definition of the mission, the allocated staff, the operating budget and procedures of the new center. So the organization of all this should be a task. That is considered task. What is considered a milestone in this case? In this case, the milestone would be the official decision of the University Council establishing the new center. That should be the milestone. And what is the deliverable? The deliverable is the center established and running. So you have different tasks, ensuring you that the deliverable will be provided and achieved. And you should prove in this deliverable that the center is established and it is running. So you should provide the work plan of the center, proving that activities are being organized, the resources of the new center, the staff that will be working there. So you should provide evidences of this deliverable. Sometimes deliverables, as I said before, we spend a lot of time at gap stage trying to define the content because it is not clear. Even after having the proposal approved, selected, it is not clear what is going to happen in the project. We have here some cases, examples of the deliverables. For management, for instance, the project management handbook, the quality assurance plan, the communication plan strategy, the reports of the external expert, that could be examples of deliverables. What is not considered a deliverable? The reports sent to the agency for receiving the pre-financing. That is not a deliverable because that is compulsory. This is a deliverable in case it is not linked to payment, because we need also to know how the project is going. So that is a tool for us to know the progression of the project. And for instance, now in this call, in this new gap period, we are asking the project to include these reports because they are receiving only one pre-financing. So we cannot wait until the end of the project. We need to know before what is happening in the project in order also to help them to better develop the project and to better achieve the results, to give them some feedback. But in case it is linked to payment, that is not a deliverable. Here, the deadline, they say by the first year, 8 months. In my projects, most of them are in month 6, because you need the project management plan handbook as soon as possible to start your project. So month 6 should be better than month 8. But in any case, never after the first year. In most of my projects, I receive the quality assurance plans in month 6. It's okay. Preparatory measures. That's an example. Huh? That is not compulsory. These are not deliverables that are compulsory. In some projects, we have preparatory measures like surveys of stakeholders, needs analysis, inclusion strategy. Of course, needs analysis for me is very important. Even if it's not compulsory, it's very important because that proves that you did the analysis of your needs. Also before month 9, at the latest, preferably in month 6. Curriculum development proposal, that this is very important. This is very important because in the program guide, it is very clear that official accreditation should happen at the end of year 2. That is very clear in the program guide. We still receive proposals saying that accreditation will happen in month 36. That's not possible because that means that the program will not be implemented during the life cycle. And this goes against the program guide. So in the last year, you should prove that the new program has already been delivered in a sufficient number of students. So the new degree, the content of this deliverable, for instance, should include the list of developed courses, the teaching material, the syllabus of the courses, the credits. All this information should be provided. In the description, sometimes it is missing. It is missing. We don't know what to expect. And then it's a pity because first, we spend a lot of time at gap preparation to let them know what is needed and what we need for assessment of the deliverables. And then sometimes we receive at the final report, it's too late, so the deliverables are rejected. So it's we lose a lot of time redoing the same work again. So that should be clear that we need all this information. For the new or updated courses, the learning outcomes, the teaching material, the credits, the typology of exam, that are examples where exam typology, that is not necessary. Official accreditation, the document delivered by the competent authority. For the training of academic staff, we need at least training material, learning outcomes. I also ask the program of the training. We need to know how many teachers were trained, where the training happened, if they went to Europe, to European countries for the training, how many participants, if all the countries participated in the same way, if the involvement was more or less equal between the different partners. Memorandum of Understanding is the document that describes the students' internship. For instance, that can be an example of memoranda of understanding, and that should happen before the start of the mobility. So the content, I insist on that again, of the deliverable, because this information is transferred from part B of the application when the project is selected to Sigma, that should be very detailed. Here for dissemination, you have the website. Website for me, months, here they say month 6, yes, at the latest, month 6, it should be available. Dissemination plan strategy. Interim report for me is too late. For me, that is my personal opinion. I am not giving here corporate guidelines. That's in my opinion. The dissemination plan should be prepared by month 6, and then at interim report, month 18, we should have some feedback on the implementation of the dissemination plan. We need to know what has been done, how this dissemination plan, very nice, very well prepared, has been implemented, what activities were carried out. So a report gathering your dissemination activities. In other projects, that is not necessary. I am talking in general terms, because other projects decide to present the deliverable, to present them in separate the deliverables. I mean, they say, organization of workshops, results of the workshops, results of the, I don't know, national seminars. So it is up to you to decide, but we need to receive feedback on the content of your dissemination plan, not only on the design of the dissemination plan. Then sustainability plan. That is linked to the impact of the project, of course, the sustainability. A plan for the sustainability of the project, including indicators, available budget, etc. Sometimes other projects present reports on measurement of the KPIs, or in the framework matrix, memorandum of understanding. That are examples, but they are not compulsory. I mean, that are just examples. There is nothing compulsory on that. I mentioned previously that the budget in this grant agreement approach is based on lump sum. In lump sum, that consists in a detailed estimation of cost and a split of the budget by work packages. So the budget is allocated to each work package. If the work package is not completed, the budget will not be given. I mean, it must be, the work package should be approved in order to receive the total funding. So if some deliverables are not approved, or we consider that the results were not achieved, the funding could be reduced accordingly to the completion of the work packages. You have in the Funding and Tendering Opportunities portal, FETOP, a document that clearly explains you how lump sum 2 functions. I don't know if you already know that, but there is a session. I have the document here, but I will not open now because I interrupt. But there is a document. There are many documents in the FETOP, informative documents, and one of them informs you on the lump sum, more details on the functioning of lump sum 2. For you, it's a real simplification. For you and for us, it's a simplification of the budget compared to the previous program. So that was a strand, our criterion 2. Now we are going to 3, quality of the partnership and cooperation agreements. In this, our criterion, the experts will look at the way of managing the consortium. They will see if the necessary structure were created, the steering committee, the quality assurance committee, if there is a good coordination, if there is a good and realistic distribution of tasks among the partners, the composition of the consortium, if they have the competencies to carry out the activities that are supposed to be carried out by them. They will see also the complementarity, if the activities are being adequately assigned and in line with the profiles and experience and expertise. If the proposal includes a diverse range of non-academic partners bringing added value to the projects. Of course, the role of the non-academic partners should be relevant, not testimonial, because in some cases they are there, but they don't have tasks allocated. So that is nothing. Also, the mechanism of communication among the partners, the collaboration measures that will be implemented, the commitment of the partners, that is very important. To ensure the commitment of the partners should be aware of the proposal before the submission of the proposal. They should be involved in the preparation of the proposal. Because if the proposal is prepared by the coordinator, or even worse, by an external body not linked to the project, the partners cannot be involved because they are not aware of what is happening. They are put there in the list and they don't even know what is expected from them. So they should be involved since the pre-proposal, before the presentation of the proposal, and the proposal should be prepared jointly. So you should start as soon as possible to prepare your proposal, because that takes a lot of time to be sure that all your partners will participate, will be informed, will gather the relevant staff to participate in the project. We will go through the later, through the staff. The ownership of the project is crucial, and for this, this is very important. Weaknesses. The proposal includes staff that will not participate in the project. Sometimes we have 1/3 of the proposal, including CVs of people that we will never see in the project. The rector, vice rector, head of administration, people that will not participate in the project. So this is a waste of time that will be limited in the future, you will see, because we cannot spend one proposal, make people lose time reading at information that is not relevant at all. So we don't need all the people involved in your university or the staff of the university in the proposal. You need the people, we need the people that will participate in the project, in the implementation of this project, and the task that they will do in the project, and proving that they have the necessary competencies to be in the project. That is very important. We don't need the CVs of people. Just with a short paragraph is sufficient to let us know what are the role, what are the capacities, and what will be the role in the project and their implication in the project. The other weakness here is the unbalanced distribution of responsibilities among the partners. I already mentioned. Sometimes the coordinator takes the role of the project, the leading role. That is a problem. Sometimes the role of the coordinator is too strong, so too invasive, in the sense that there is not cooperation, real cooperation. But in other cases, it's just the opposite. The coordinator lets the coordination to the partners, and there is no coordination at all. The coordinator disappears. So the project will not achieve, that will be a failure, that's for sure. So a good project is a balance between good coordination with good allocation of tasks to the partners, participation of all the partners, involvement and commitment. The last, our criterion is sustainability, impact, and dissemination of the expected results. This is very important. At the beginning of the project, you saw it's only 20% of the points awarded to the selection of the project. But at the end of the project, this award criterion is becoming more and more important, because once the results are available, you need to disseminate them. You need to show outside your consortium what you have delivered and how these results can be used by others outside the consortium. So you should show also that the result of the project will be exploited after the termination of the project, how the result will be used, how they will be sustained when the European funding is over. The experts will also see at the possible multiplier effect of your project, including the replication, the extension of the outcomes at sectoral, local, regional, national, and even international level. So it's very important that not only the dissemination, but also the multiplication of the results. In strand 1, the proposal must discuss on how to tackle existing barriers, how to increase the accessibility of students and staff with fewer opportunities to the learning opportunities and resources offered by universities. The experts also in this strand 1 will look at if the proposal is likely to increase the international cooperation capacities of institutions in third countries not associated to the programs. So that is also important. And finally, the open access. The open access means that we expect that you describe in the proposal how the materials, the documents, and the media produced will be made freely available and promoted through open licenses without disproportionate limitations. Sustainability refers to two aspects. We already saw the financial sustainability, how the project is being sustained after the funding is over, but also to ensure that the services created, that the curriculum developed are going to be sustained, that the laboratories will be maintained, the center created will be functioning after the termination of the project. So financial and also sustainability of results, of course. No. Weaknesses. I am too low, I am maybe too long. Sorry, it was a long presentation. Weaknesses here. A weakness in this award criterion 4 is that the proposals include staff that will not participate in the project. No, I already mentioned that in the other before. No, involve. No, I am not in the right. Sorry. Yes, it's here. To involve the relevant stakeholders. The stakeholders should be identified since the beginning of the project, since the preparation of the proposal, and involve them since the beginning, the relevant stakeholders. They can be very useful for the development of the project, and they can help you in the project implementation. So it is very important to identify relevant stakeholders and address also sustainability since the beginning, because in many cases, they address sustainability just 6 months before the end of the project. That should be already explained in the proposal, how you will address. We are not asking to submit a sustainability plan, of course, but at least to indicate how you will sustain the project, the sustainability of the project. Indicative timeline. So in November, the call is expected, the publication of the call. The program guide will be out. There will be slight changes. That is very important to take into consideration. The program guide is the document that will be relevant for your project in case it is approved, not only at selection stage, but only at implementation stage. All the compulsory elements, all the things that are applicable to your project, eligibility, everything is there. So it's a document that must be well known before presenting your proposal and after, because in some cases, many problems of eligibility comes because project coordinator and project partners don't read the document, the program guide. The deadline for the submission of proposal will be in February. So you see there are several months, but you already have sufficient elements because the changes will not be so big. So you can start prepare proposals and be sure when the call is over that all the eligibility criteria are met. Then the evaluation period starts in February, till the end of July. It's a long process because there are many agents involved, as you saw before, including the EU delegations. And in July, August, applicants are informed of the results. In November, we start the signature of the grant agreement, and your project starts the following months to the signature. That's it. If the grant agreement is signed in November, the project shall start 1st of December. Points to consider when writing a proposal. What is a successful application for us? That is very important because many proposals are very well written. So on the paper, they are very good applications, but then in reality, they are not good because they are badly implemented. So a good proposal is not succeeding in being selected, but succeeding in delivering what is expected and achieving the objectives of the proposal, the results, leading to an effective implementation. That is crucial. Producing the expected changes, keeping the results alive after the funding periods. And most of this depends on the preparation stage. So a relevant work is made before the submission of the proposal. The preparation is very important because you anticipate the problems that you will have later on. If you are not prepared, the problems come, and there is no alternative. You didn't do a sufficient risk assessment. You didn't think about the problem that you could face later on. Competitive application demonstrates that the combination of all the elements will produce concrete and sustainable results for the benefits of all the partners, all the parties concerned, and in particular, the third country partners. I insist on that. This is a capacity building action addressed to the third countries partners. Has been prepared and agreed jointly by the consortium. I repeat the same thing. Has received the full institutional commitment and support of the consortium partners. That is very important because some proposals respond only to the needs, individual needs. A teacher decides to submit a proposal without the support, the institutional support. So in general, that will be a failure because you need the commitment of the governing board, that you will have the necessary staff, that they are supporting you to carry out your project. So it's very important, the institutional commitment, and the proposal responds to the needs of the institution, not to the needs of the concrete teacher. So that it is inserted in the strategic priorities, in the strategic plan of internationalization of the university. So that is why it's so important to involve different instances in the university. The department, of course, that will implement the project, but also the decision makers in the university that will provide you the necessary resources to carry out your project. And as I said before, ready to start immediately after the selection decision. We cannot spend 6 months preparing the start of the proposal because the time is very limited. 3 years pass very quickly. Sometimes it's very difficult to work with very complex consortia. You have in many cases, 12, 14 partners. It's very difficult. So you cannot start thinking about how to work during the first 6 months. That should be already decided before starting. What are we looking for? Clear and ambitious proposals that correspond to the needs of the third countries, not associated to the program, and regional priorities. Clear and ambitious, you see? Ambitious in the sense that you want to achieve something, you need to change something. results that make a difference on different levels. So that have an impact on your organization, on the capacity building of your staff, on your students, on the curricula developed for your students. So the project will have an impact not only in the person working in the consortium that will learn a lot, because you learn a lot when you participate in an international project. You learn from your partners, but not only you, also your students, your university should gain from this participation. Coherence and effectiveness of the work executed by a competent team. So you need the persons that are relevant to carry out the activities. That is important. It's important also to ensure that you have the necessary staff that will be committed to stay during the project duration, because in some projects, the problem is that the turnover of staff. So they are changing staff continuously, and it's impossible to work in this way. If you don't have persons that are committed since the beginning and allocated to the project since the beginning, it's very difficult to get good results with staff changing all the time. To be improved. Discrepancies between part B, part C. Okay, that is an issue, because the experts sometimes they don't know because in several parts of the proposal, this is a copy and paste of many proposals before, and it is clear that this is a copy and paste. It is very clear, and the person that did the copy and paste didn't even read the results of this copy and paste. So sometimes they're very contradictions. And we find that we are working with several countries, and a different countries appears in the proposal. So we are working in Central Asia, and in the proposal there is, I don't know, Vietnam, to say, but Vietnam was not in this proposal. What is this? So please pay attention to that. This is not a copy and paste of many projects and without coherence. Confusion between tasks, milestones, indicators, deliverables. Logical framework matrix missing or not correctly completed. The logical framework matrix is an additional document, so it is not included in the proposal. So you should download this matrix, and some projects don't include it because they didn't realize that it was there. Because the system that, I don't know if in the future maybe they will include in the template this logical framework matrix in the template, but now it is not the case, and you should download it. To improve the weak needs analysis, again, innovation not visible, high share of staff cost, no equipment for newcomers, too limited purchase of specialized equipment versus generic material. There are universities participating in the program since Tempus that are still buying equipment. So they are better equipped than many European universities, I can tell you. So equipment is important, is necessary. I mean, laptops, photocopiers, they are necessary, but they shouldn't be the main part of equipment for universities that have been participating in the program since many calls. So there are also other equipment that is necessary for the implementation of a new course, as laboratories, equipment for laboratories, equipment for the libraries that are already eligible, that are also eligible and are not included. That is a pity. Because sometimes this generic equipment is not necessary. So, it doesn't work. Oh, yeah. So that was an example. Number of new courses, 3. Number of updated courses, 10. Number of updated study programs, 6. Study programs with practical placement, 6. Number of new and modernized labs, 4. 4 is clear because maybe there are 4 partners, but there are contradictions there. So how many courses are you going to update? That is very, very generic and contradictory information. And also the updated course is 10. If you don't indicate the number of credits, that is a very, very bad project because we don't know the cost efficiency of the project. So we need to know how many credits are you going to update, how many credits you are going to develop, because a project, for instance, developing 3 new courses with a total of 15 credits, that is not cost efficient. You cannot pay almost 1 million euros for updating 75 credits. So please be realistic and provide information on what you are going to do. Because if the number of credits is not somewhere in the application, you have very little chances to get the project approved. That is for sure. Terminology is key. Objectives. What are the objectives? What you want to achieve during the duration of your project. What are the main objectives of your project is the results that you want to achieve. Implementation is how to carry out the activities of the project during the life cycle and not after, to meet the expected objectives. So the implementation should happen during the life cycle of the project, not after. So for us, it's not sufficient to say the course has been accredited. Yes, and what? What else? Are you going to implement the course? That is not a success. The success is that the course is started in this academic year with this number of students implemented by those universities, and we have the first results. And we are going to change the content of the curricula because we did an analysis and an evaluation of the first 6 months that shows us that this should be improved, that this should be changed. So this is for us a project achieved, implemented during the life cycle of the project. A task refers to any activities that has a definite outcome associated with this, not to mix with deliverables. The tasks are necessary to achieve the deliverables. So the deliverables is made because you are develop a number of tasks allowing you to achieve the deliverable. Deliverables are the final products, results of your project. Those justifying why we are paying this money. So that should be very well justified and give evidences that you have achieved these deliverables. Milestone is a significant step in the successful production of a deliverable. And impact is spreading, disseminating, and also exploit your results during and after the project, including beyond the original consortium. And finally, communication is everything that you do to inform that your project is being implemented during all the project. So there are different terminology here, different concepts that sometimes are not clear. Avoid discrepancies in different sections. between the global timetable and the description of each deliverable. There are many contradictions and many things that are not matching well in the proposal. For instance, the same number of tasks are listed in each work package. Must be reported in the global timetable. So the application is not well completed. The same duration must be reported in both parts of the application, so it should be the same, not different. For the global timetable, pay attention to the use of the correct chart. There are two charts, one for the project lasting 2 years and another one for the rest. In one case, only months should be used for the project of 2 years, and the second one is in quarters. So please use the right template according to your action and the duration of the action. Concerning the budget, we have many less now, but in the beginning we had a lot of contradictions between part A and part B, and the part A, part B, and part C. You can imagine the budget was different in each part. So in part B, in lump sum 2, it is not necessary to detail the budget. So you can avoid filling in this information because it is not necessary. But in case you decide to complete this part of part B, please respect the same amounts that you are putting in the Excel table and in the total budget of part A. Well, for newcomers, the proposal is divided in 3 parts: A, B, B1. This is very it's even complicated for us because they call that B1, B2, and C. And C are indicators, and then you have the budget table in Excel. That the budget table in Excel, that should be the first document to complete, I mean, concerning the budget, and to transfer the figures of the budget table to the application form, to A and B. So that should be the basis, the Excel table, because it is automatically done. I mean, it's automatically calculated, and is the simplest way to calculate the budget. So need to ensure value for money, reflect objectively the objectives, the outcomes that you want to achieve. There is no depreciation. The whole amount of the equipment is supported by the grant, provided it is purchased 2 months before the end of the project. We insist very much on this. The equipment must be used for the project implementation and should be available as soon as possible. So please don't buy equipment at the very end of the project. Staff costs sometimes are inflated in quantity and in monthly rate. We are looking at the weaknesses and what could you improve concerning the budget. Pay attention to a balanced mix of presential and online activities. Pay attention what activities are necessary to be in presence. And don't tell us later on that you are going to move everything to online, because that is not the way. I mean, your budget was based on the activities that you said in the proposal that you were to carry out. If you decide that these presence meetings are necessary because you are going to decide relevant things in the development of your work program, that should be respected, but not all the activities are necessary to be in presence. Sometimes I see some minutes of the meetings that are completely, for me, I don't know. I don't understand why this money is spent to go abroad for a result that are completely irrelevant. That doesn't prove in the minutes that the results were, that the same result could be achieved by online meetings. So a presence meeting should have relevant results, and that should be reflected why this money was spent. Or meetings lasting half day abroad, that is not feasible. That is not cost efficient to go abroad for half a day meeting with very poor results. So please be careful with these kind of things, and prepare carefully what needs to be online and what could be is necessary to be in presence. A fair distribution of the grant among the different partners. That's, we get very many surprises now. Maybe not with the lump sum, because that is more invisible for us. But in the past, when the project is finished, we see that partners don't declare many staff costs, for instance, and other partners declare 60% more of staff costs. That is a very big weakness. That means that there was not a good allocation of tasks among the partners, that one partner was not performing well, and other partner was overperforming. I mean, was doing the work of other partners. That is not a good project. So pay attention to these kind of things, allocation of tasks, but also to how to spend the money, the budget. Very often, management work package is inflated in many projects. Universities that have participated in several projects are encouraged to, I already mentioned that, to acquire specialized equipment. And that is also important. CBHE project does not finance long mobilities, more than one semester, neither students nor of staff. That is very important. This is not a mobility project. Mobility is part of the action, but not the core of the action. For that, there are other programs, other actions, ECM. You mentioned before? Yeah. Do not include the financial audit cost. That is also important. Financial cost is not eligible in the lump sum 2. Equipment for non-higher education is not eligible, and equipment for European universities is not eligible. Equipment is only addressed to universities in the countries non-associated to the program. I repeat that again, coherence, to be clear, to be explicit, to be focused, to be concrete, simple language, rigorous, and complete. So key words to prepare a good proposal. I will not repeat because I think I have already mentioned all of them. How to submit a proposal. So, where? Applications are submitted in the Funding and Tender Opportunities portal, that is called as FETOP. There is a submission system. There is the link there. The proposal must be submitted and created by the contact person of the coordinating organization on behalf of the consortium. Publication in November 24, deadline February 25. . useful links, program guide, the more relevant document to prepare the proposal. Here there is the link to the last one, 2024. Please be sure that you are reading the right, because each proposal has a different program guide. And you can use only the one relevant to your application. The link to FETOP and the link to the logical framework matrix. We have Erasmus program results platform, where you can look for relevant information concerning projects that have already been funded. All the results of the project funding are uploaded there. So there you have information in order to not repeat projects that are already funded, and to be sure that you are preparing something that is really innovative, and you are bringing something new. This is also useful, this platform, to look for partners. This is not the purpose of the tool, of course. This is not the purpose, but it is also a means to find partners. There is another link here where you can see the list of summaries of projects that have already been funded. For the moment, deliverables are not available in FETOP, but they will be in the future. So when your project is finished, when the deliverables are finished, some of them are public, some of them are sensitive, but the public in the future, when the system will be ready, will be directly published there. So it's important not to introduce personal data in public deliverables, because the Commission is very strict with the respect of personal data, protection of personal data. So as I said, at the moment, you only have the summaries of the project, but we don't have the deliverables yet, because we joined very recently this platform. This platform was conceived for Horizon projects, so we are using a platform that was not originally conceived for Erasmus Plus programs. So we are trying to adapt our program to the features of the platform. So at the moment, you can see also that maybe some parts of the application are not completely matching the needs of our program, but we need to be corporate and to respect these corporate tools that we have now. And I think that this is all. That was a very long presentation. I am sorry. I took me a long time to present my strand one. You have here the link in case you need to contact us for further information, or Gulnara, that will be pleased to respond to your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Презентацию мы выставим на веб-сайте, и будет запись сегодняшнего всего мероприятия в Zoom, да? Мы разошлем всем участникам. Ваши имейлы у нас есть.
Do you have any questions now?
After.
Okay.
У нас 46 участников онлайн, да, еще там есть вопросы. Вы пока пишите вопросы или себе фиксируете. У нас последняя презентация. Тут мы говорили, насколько прекрасна программа Эразмус, какие возможности она может представить, но самое лучшее, наверное, это послушать отзывы участников, да, проекта, именно вот на примере МВШМ. У нас Кенеш Аскумбаевич, он представит презентацию на примере своего вуза в участии 6, да, или 9 проектов Эразмус, насколько это было полезно, не полезно для его университета, как это повлияло на качество образования и так далее, и так далее.
Так, а можно будет выключить или как?
Что это было?
А то плохо видно иногда, да?
А, вам плохо видно?
Нет, тут, если на белом фоне или как. Нет?
А, вот так?
Да, вот. Да, лучше. Мгм. Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги. Я очень рад быть здесь и поделиться своей информацией, поделиться своим опытом. Да, ну, как мы поняли сегодня из выступления Марисоль, Стренд 1 нам дает возможность все-таки, очень большие возможности. И я хотел бы продолжить эту тему, да, почему мы все-таки должны начать со Стренд 1 с точки зрения моего вот участия, уже многолетнего участия в проектах Эразмус+. Первый мой проект большую кнопку. Что-то не то. Совсем по-другому выглядит, да. Хорошо. Первый мой опыт был в Темпус, в программе Темпус. Это тогда был до, я не помню, до какого времени, да, в 2001, 2002, 2003 годах у нас был первый опыт разработка программы общественного здравоохранения в медакадемии, да, и потом уже второй, уже намного позже, это проект Canary H в 2013-2015 годах, и позже уже Erasmus Plus пошли, и в основном последние проекты это вообще первые и последние. Из них 3 проекта – это национальные, остальные все региональные, центральноазиатские проекты. Да. Во-первых, вы знаете, что все эти проекты Erasmus+, в высшем образовании – это capacity building, то есть повышение потенциала вузов. И поэтому во всех, что мы получили в моих проектах, особенно вот на личном опыте, это то, что мы получили обучение. То есть мы повысили свои знания не только в профессиональных своих областях, допустим, по гигиене окружающей среды, профболезни, вот это моя специальность, но и в других областях. Вот посмотрите наши проекты, начиная вот с Canary H, сколько человек прошли, скажем так, хорошее обучение на высоком уровне. Почему? Потому что все наши европейские партнеры, они были высококлассными специалистами. Да. И вот я уже говорил о том, что мы не только повысили свои профессиональные знания, но и обучились новым методам преподавания, да, получили, то есть обучились также методам исследования. Почему? Потому что мы в задачах поставили не только обучение, да, не только образовательные навыки, но и навыки проведения научных исследований. То, что очень слабо до сих пор, к сожалению, в наших вузах. Все наши проекты мы начинали с курсов английского языка. Специально. Почему? Потому что английский язык, во-первых, нужен для общения, да, потом для обучения, чтобы мы понимали то, что происходит, то, что дают на тренингах, и потом дальше уже использовать английский язык в своей профессиональной и даже личной жизни. Вот это количество людей, которые мы обучили в наших проектах, посмотрите, свыше 100, ближе к даже 200, вот Harmony, да, это же все-таки дает хороший эффект, да. И какой эффект? Во-первых, мы уже знаем, как обращаться, как разговаривать с иностранными партнерами, да. Это дает возможность самим, допустим, выиграть проект по mobility и так далее. И третье, мы можем уже свободно читать иностранную литературу на английском языке, да, и уже дальше идет, конечно, имеется в личной карьере, да, в личной карьере тоже это очень помогает. А в наших всех проектах мы, конечно, дали толчок не только в профессиональном плане, но и наши участники проекта получили большой опыт, большое развитие soft skills и так называемых transferable, как на русском? Передаваемые навыки, передаваемые, да. Это, то есть, что такое soft skills? Это такие межличностные навыки межличностного общения, да, лидерство, работа в команде, да, такое творческое мышление, развитие. Transferable skills, то есть передаваемые навыки, это те, которые, посмотрите, аналитическое мышление, критическое восприятие информации, leadership, лидерские качества и так далее. Ну и особенно в первом, то есть во втором Canary проекте, то есть темпус проекте, мы вот упор сделали на это. Почему? Потому что Canary вообще это аббревиатура Центральноазиатской сети в области образования, науки и инноваций в сфере гигиены окружающей среды и профессиональных заболеваний. Мы образовали сеть из 10 медицинских вузов в Центральной Азии и, в общем, создали сеть центров, и нам помогло вот развитие и soft skills, и transferable skills, и так далее. Ну, это все, конечно же, дает очень многое для карьеры, личностного роста. Почему? Потому что вот многие из молодых коллег, которые участвовали вот в Canary проекте, сейчас они деканы, проректора. Многие работают в международных организациях. Почему? Потому что, во-первых, выучили английский язык, во-вторых, вот навыки свои, общения, лидерские навыки повысили. Вот. И я уже говорил о том, что мы закладывали как задачу, отдельную задачу и в некоторых проектах и развитие навыков, то есть обучение исследователей, научным исследованиям, да? Обучение новых научных методов исследования. Ну и здесь, конечно же, вот Дерека – это национальный проект, где мы обучали научных руководителей, самих работников научных, да, студентов, докторантов обучили, как писать статью, да, академическое письмо, критическое мышление, как использовать искусственный интеллект в поиске литературы, какие базы научной литературы есть, как их использовать, такие программы, как Turnitin, Mendeley там, и так далее. Ну и это, конечно же, помогло очень нам, практически всем участникам проекта в том плане, что мы смогли, то есть многие из нас начали уже писать статьи. Вот в проекте не Дирека, а туториал в рамках проекта мы написали более 10 статей. Из них часть, 5 статей было в высокорейтинговых журналах американских и европейских, которые числятся в базе Scopus и Web of Science. Вот. Ну и, конечно, уже, то есть многие наши участники проекта и Дирека, и Tutorial, они легко уже ориентируются в базах, научных базах и Scopus, и PubMed, и так далее. В проектах мы научились использовать IT. Вот я уже говорил о том, что вот 64 человека в проекте, национальном проекте Дирека мы научили использовать IT-программы для подготовки статьи. Да? Сейчас очень много программ искусственного интеллекта, с искусственным интеллектом, которые помогают поиск литературы, делать обзор. Да? Даже есть программы, которые дают выжимку из статьи, да? Статью, что нового в этой статье, там, и так далее. Вот. И в проекте Берника мы обучили 32 преподавателя инновационным обучающим сценариям с использованием мобильных приложений. Да? И сейчас уже в Казахстане и у нас в Казахстане начинают использовать вот эти мобильные приложения в обучении в области нутрициологии и диетологии. Ну, и я уже не говорю о том, что сейчас уже практически во всех наших вузах мы используем blended learning, то есть мы все переходим на так называемые managed learning system, да, environment, то есть такие как Moodle, другие используют сейчас АВН, да, или как. Вот. И в самом первом вот, в Темпус проекте в туториал, второй центральноазиатский проект, региональный проект, мы как раз, это было до 2019 года, 2016-2019, мы стали, то есть обучились билернингу, то есть смешанному подходу обучения, и внедрили вот Moodle в своей школе. И как раз это помогло нам очень быстро перейти на онлайн-обучение как раз в локдауне, в период пандемии COVID-19. Да, это нам это очень помогло. Ну, какая польза от того, что мы используем вот IT-технологии, я думаю, что вы все знаете, да, всем это известно, то, что у нас повышается резко производительность труда, да, резко улучшается работа с то есть работа с научным текстом улучшается и упрощается, и убыстряется. Вот. У нас есть доступ уже ко многим научным базам литературы, да, в связи с тем, что мы используем IT-технологии. Очень важно то, что в каждом проекте мы закладывали деньги на приобретение оборудования. Да? Допустим, в проекте Дирека, это национальный проект по усовершенствованию наших PhD-программ в 7 вузах Кыргызстана. Каждый вуз получил оборудование на, видите, 34 тысяч евро. Это большая сумма. Я так подсчитал, оказывается, вот наша международная высшая школа закупила вот в течение вот всех этих времени, всех этих проектов на оборудование на сумму около 200 тысяч евро. Это большая сумма. Это имеется в виду такой вклад. Поэтому и то же самое можно сделать и в проекте Strand-1, да? Как вы сегодня уже поняли, в этом проекте мы можем заложить в первую очередь тренинги, обучение, да? Во-вторых, needs assessment, то есть опрос, провести обзор ситуации в республике в той или иной области, выявить, какие у нас пробелы есть, что, в общем, потребности выявить. Это вот задача проектов Strand-1, я так понимаю. Вот. Ну и, конечно же, наши лаборатории, особенно медицинские, вот ОЖГУ и наша медицинская школа, мы обогатили свою учебно-научные лаборатории, оборудование закупили, и сейчас наши магистранты и докторанты используют это оборудование для своих научных исследований. И, конечно же, мы обучаем студентов лечебного факультета и показываем эти приборы, как использовать и так далее в своих этих, на своих занятиях по предметам. Конечно же, основной задачей, одной из основных задач этих проектов у нас была разработка учебных программ. Вообще есть, когда мы говорим программы и когда мы говорим курсы, можно понимать по-разному. Да? Программа, допустим, целая программа, допустим, лечебного факультета, да, лечебное дело, или же программа общественного здравоохранения, которая включает в себе, допустим, 50 предметов на 6 или на 5 лет. А есть программа, которая учебная, рабочая программа для дисциплины, да, для дисциплины. Поэтому, то есть учебный план с рабочими программами и плюс то же самое есть, немного мы не понимаем друг друга с нашими иностранными партнерами, когда мы говорим модуль или курсы, это то же самое. Да, там есть небольшие отличия в каждых странах. Ну, вот. Вот в программе, по проекту Tutorial, это центральноазиатский проект по разработке магистерских программ в области общественного здравоохранения было. Мы разработали, видите, 5 новых программ, магистерских программ в области общественного здравоохранения и 2 модернизированных, это в Казахстане, которые уже имели свои магистерские программы. Вот. А по проекту Дерека посмотрите, что 10 новых программ, PhD-программ были разработаны и 4 усовершенствованы. Вот. Что еще дает эти проекты? То, что мы, во-первых, начинаем свою международную, то есть сотрудничество с международными университетами и продолжаем, усиливаем, да, укрепляем. Вот. И в самом первом таком международном, то есть региональном проекте ColorEdge мы создали, я уже говорил о том, что создали сеть медицинских центров в медицинских вузах Казахстана, Таджикистана и Кыргызстана. Потом позже в следующем проекте мы присоединили Узбекистан, и мы до сих пор, вот последующие проекты мы тем же составом вот, осуществили еще 2 проекта, Tutorial и Harmony, да, и мы совместно осуществляем не только вот эти темпус и Эразмус проекты, но и научные проекты. Допустим, с Казахстаном мы провели 2 крупных научных проекта на деньги Министерства образования Казахстана. Вот. До сих пор у нас академическая мобильность, нас приглашают как визитинг-профессора, мы их приглашаем, обмен студентами не только вот внутри республики, но и с Казахстаном, Узбекистаном налажены. Это вот конференции совместные. Это вот результат того, что мы создали вот эту сеть. Почему? Потому что вот после того, как мы разошлись все республики Советского Союза, мы как-то стали отделяться друг от друга, а сейчас вот благодаря вот этому первому темпус, то есть второму темпус проекту мы еще более тесно начали сотрудничать и чуть ли не каждый день созваниваемся по WhatsApp и так далее. Вот. Ну, Tutorial и вот Harmony – это проекты, которые продолжают темпус проект Canary Edge, да. Вот посмотрите здесь, в Tutorial мы опубликовали более 10 совместных статей, я уже говорил об этом, да. Мы потом совместно с ними, вот Казахстан, Таджикистан подали на мобильность К1, вот в университет Милана и Тарту. И у нас была попытка совместная написать грант на Марию Складовской-Кюри, проект по созданию сети докторской. То есть, ну, у нас не получилось, к сожалению, да, но мы все-таки пытаемся еще раз. Вот, по Harmony, да, в Harmony мы уже присоединили Узбекистан, да, и в рамках этой программы наш преподаватель Высшей школы медицины, она прошла 3-летнее обучение, то есть программу PhD в университете Милана, и там защитила свою докторскую степень. Это вот, посмотрите, как все-таки Эразмус плюс проект оказывает такое влияние нам, да. Особо я хотел отметить наш проект Дерека. Это национальный проект, который дал очень-очень много нашим вузу, и не только на уровне университета, но и на национальном уровне. Почему? Потому что участники проекта работали и до сих пор, вот до августа этого года работали, после окончания этот проект окончился в 2023 году, но вот до августа 2024 года участники проекта работали в рабочей группе Министерства образования по улучшению, то есть по внесению изменений в законы о науке, об образовании и разработке новых положений не только о PhD, степени PhD, но и вообще о положении о ученых званиях и ученой степени, положение о дипломе государственного образца PhD и так далее. Вот. Ну, в этом проекте у нас европейскими партнерами были Лондонский университет Брунель, Вильнюсский университет, технический университет Гедеминас, Гамбургский университет прикладных наук и этим же практическим составом, да, этим же практическим составом. Почему? Потому что мы, посмотрите, вузы разных направлений, и дипломатическая академия, и технический вуз, да, КГТУ и КГУСТА, аграрный университет, ОЖГУ, медицинский факультет и математический факультет ОЖГУ, плюс наша медицинская школа медицины, совершенно разношерстная такая группа университетов работает совместно до сих пор. Вот разработали совместно проекты DEFA и Green KG. Вот. И практически этим же составом плюс еще присоединили новые университеты. Это вот результат, я так думаю, что это результат того, что мы получили проект Дирекка. Вот. Ну и в результате проекта Дирекка, опять же, такой дал участие в проекте, дал импульс того, что мы начали много публиковать, да, мы научились писать статьи, да, вот сейчас в 2023 году наша школа была №1 в национальном рейтинге по цитированию. Допустим, это вот вроде бы школа небольшая, всего 200 преподавателей, да, 200 с лишним преподавателей, но мы на первом месте по республике по цитированию наших публикаций. Это вот результат все-таки того, что мы участвовали уже сколько лет в программах Эразмус+. Вот. Ну и мобильность, да, повысилась академическая мобильность, мобильность студентов, преподавателей. Да, я уже говорил о том, что мы чаще начали ездить друг к другу в Казахстан, в Узбекистан, в Таджикистан. Да, наши студенты, несмотря на то, что мы обучаем студентов-иностранцев, но все равно наши студенты съездили в Казахстан, в Караганду, в Семей, вот в Ошгу, в Узбекистан, в Андижан. Наши студенты съездили в университет Милан, проучились 1 семестр. И PhD-студенты, магистранты съездили в Тарту, опять же, университет Милан. В следующем году наши студенты поедут в австрийский университет. Опять же, это партнер Эразмус проекта, который сейчас идет. Вот. Вот посмотрите, в рамках Tutorial и Harmony 25 магистрантов прошли 1- или 2-месячную стажировку в университете Милана или Тарту, да? В рамках Canary H и Direct Projects, значит, 18 PhD-докторантов прошли тоже стажировку в университетах Европы, там Германии, Литвы и Англии, да, Великобритании, в Лондоне. И каждый участник всех этих проектов, конечно, получил очень многое для себя. Да? Почему? Потому что, во-первых, английский язык подтянул или научился. Во-вторых, многое повидал в университетах европейских партнеров. Да? И каждый раз, вот я чуть ли не каждый год несколько раз езжу, и каждый раз я нахожу все новое, получая все новое. Почему? Потому что университеты в Европе не стоят на месте. Они еще большими темпами, еще больше развиваются, да, больше внедряют как в обучении, так и в научных своих лабораториях. Поэтому каждый раз ты получаешь очень много для себя. Ну и, конечно же, получаешь друзей. Вот я в первый темпус-проект, я уже говорил, в 2001-2003 годах мы работали с университетом Ланкастера в Великобритании и университет Тампере в Финляндии. И до сих пор, вот я считаю, мы уже считаемся друзьями, мы ездим друг к другу с семьями. Винсент О'Брайен, профессор с университета Ланкастера, потом он перешел в университет Манчестера, да, и мы ездили, и у нас совместные, очень много научных проектов было. Он каждый год к нам приезжал, останавливался у меня дома, чтобы было, ну, чтобы экономить деньги на научные исследования, да, и мы объездили всю республику для того, чтобы найти пробелы в услугах здравоохранения именно на местах в тут, допустим, Арбашинский район, да, Хочковский, Джумгальский районы, вот мы объездили. Мы объездили Ошскую область, Араванский, там, Каданжанский районы, вот, Джалалабадскую область. То есть это дает очень много. У меня очень много совместных публикаций с партнерами, с которыми я познакомился и подружился в рамках проектов Эразмус плюс и Темпус. Вот. Ну и, конечно же, узнаешь культуру, да, узнаешь, берешь очень многое для себя, и не только для себя, но и для своей семьи. Вот. Вот. Ну и, наверное, уже не стоит говорить об этом, потому что уже да, госпожа Мария Соль уже все это дала. Я думаю, что не стоит дальше. Если есть вопросы, я могу ответить. Попозже, да.
Кратко резюмируя презентацию Кенеша Скумбаевича, да, проекты Эразмус несут воздействие на индивидуальном уровне, на институциональном уровне. На индивидуальном уровне это профессиональный рост, рост карьеры, межкоммуникационные, да, навыки. На институциональном это интернационализация, признание, повышение рейтинга и качество преподавания. Да. Вот. Ну а теперь мы приступаем к сессии вопросы и ответы. Пожалуйста, поднимайте руку, и наши девочки поднесут микрофоны к вам. Пожалуйста. У кого есть вопросы? Пожалуйста, Сарабаева, да, университет. Представьтесь, да, и сразу вопрос.
Саламатсыздарбы. Сапарбек Оморов, Центр повышения квалификации, Арабай университет. Кеңеш байкеге суроом болуп атат. Кечиресиздер, мага кыргызча берген ыңгайлуураак. Эң биринчи эле ошол өзүңүздүн основной негизги жумушуңуз бар. Анан дагы бул долбоорлорду параллельно алып кетиш үчүн жакшы бир командага ээ болуш керек. Ошол жакшы команданы сиз түзүүдө кандай чакырыктар болду же кантип түздүңүз ушул команданы? Анан ошого кантип убакыт бөлдүңүздөр? Ошондой бир лайфхак болсо бөлүшсөңүз.
Ну, тут еще проректор МВШМ сидит, Айназик, она тоже может вам помочь ответить.
Рахмат. Орысча жооп берейин. Ну, не знаю, как, но как ответить?
Колитесь, давайте, да. Секреты выдавайте.
Ну, секретов таких нет, но, во-первых, самый вот первый проект «Темпус» мы написали совместно с моим однокурсницей, то есть мы уже давно со студенческих лет работали и вместе стремились, в общем, кандидатскую сделать быстрее научиться немецкому, английскому языку и так далее, и так далее. И ну, мы буквально увидели объявление, что call Tempus, и мы написали проект и прошел, да, но команда, ну, конечно, в первую очередь смотришь на своих кафедральных сотрудников, да, кто может, но к моему счастью, то, что мы преподаем иностранным студентам на английском языке, все. И все знают английский язык. И в основном это молодежь. В основном это молодежь, которая все-таки устремлена в будущее, да, то есть хочет много знать, хочет много получить, и в том числе и в материальном плане. Поэтому, ну, не знаю, а то, что как время находили, я работал ночью. Если честно, да. Если честно, потому что работаешь, преподаешь, устаешь, да, да, ну вот, не знаю. Так.
Спасибо.
Может быть, Айназик, вот еще хорошо, что, опять же, мне повезло, что в МШМ у нас есть очень хорошая команда в международном отделе, то есть отделе международного сотрудничества. Вот Айназик, Мамат Исаевна, она очень активная, да, Махаббат Карагулова, начальник международного отдела, они прямо, я не знаю, подхватили, и мне сейчас намного легче.
Рахмат. Дагы суроо бар да?
У меня вопрос к Марисоль. Dear Marisol, I understood that this strand ID project only can last only 25 or 24 months, 2 years. Yes, strand one. Up to,
36.
but it can be 18 months.
No.
No.
24 or 36.
Exactly, 24 or 36, exactly.
2 or
Okay.
3 years.
I saw that we can, for example, for only 18 months. Okay. And also the second question is, just to clarify that this strand one project can be devoted to needs assessment mostly.
No, not only.
Not
Needs
only,
assessment should be previous to the presentation of the proposal.
but I saw that conducting survey among business partners or something like that.
That could be
That could be, but it is
As a part of
for
activity.
what? For
Not-
what we can conduct survey and then conduct interviews.
needs analysis should be prior to the submission of the proposal.
Yeah.
But of course, when you start the project, you could finalize your needs assessment.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do a more general needs assessment that informs you about the situation and on the needs of submitting the proposal. And once you start your project, you can improve or increase, for instance, to develop new tools, new questionnaires, surveys that you didn't do in depth because it's impossible
Yeah.
when
Mhm.
at the preparation stage. But at least when submitting your proposal, you should already know the needs that the action that is going to be developed has been proved to be necessary because you already saw secondary sources or information that is providing you information.
So this survey, yeah, to get details and then to get deeper.
Yes, and to fine
analysis,
tune
yeah.
also to analyze your analysis because your analysis maybe was done 1 year and the proposal start 1 year later or 1 year and a half later. So the situation might have slightly changed. So you can spend some time, the first 6 up to 9 months maximum, fine tuning and perfectioning your needs analysis. And that can give you some deliverables. That
Yeah.
was, I put there one deliverable that was the stakeholder survey as part of your of the implementation of the project.
Mhm. And as we completed survey, we have already finished analysis of needs. Then we can plan development of some curricula,
Yes,
but without implementation.
you
Because
need
it's strand one.
when there is curriculum development, there is always implementation. But in strand one, for universities that have never participated in the program, they can develop summer courses,
Training for development,
short-term courses,
short-term courses.
courses to capacity staff for internationalization. You don't need to develop a master degree, a degree, because this is too ambitious for us, action one, and too ambitious for newcomers. So one important thing that I forgot to mention before is that in strand one, it's very important that newcomers are supported and they know how to participate how to develop their capacities in international programs. For instance, they need to co-lead at least work packages, and they need to receive the support from experienced partners to help them to start participating in international projects or in the Erasmus program, because the Erasmus program is particular. It's not like other programs that maybe you are already participating in them. But the aim of the strand one is to help newcomers to participate in the program, to develop their capacities, international capacities, and also to develop activities that are according to the budget. It is not necessary to think about developing a master course or a new degree in strand 1. That is not the purpose.
And just last question. Then what was I going to ask? Maybe I
Yes, I will answer to one question that I saw there. Individual participation, that is not possible. One single teacher cannot submit a proposal. This is a program that, an action that is oriented towards universities. So only universities can submit proposals involving the staff, of course, but one single teacher, no, that is not possible in this action. There was another question concerning what is considered a newcomer. Newcomer are institutions that have never participated in the capacity building higher education action. That could be new universities, but also new branches or new departments. So maybe one university has participated, but the faculty of law, or I don't know. But other faculties have never participated. They are considered newcomers. So we are very flexible and very open on what is a newcomer. Any other questions?
Видео этой сессии мы повесим у нас на сайте. About video. What is the minimum and maximum percentage of budget should be by European partners in the proposal?
No, there is not an obligation. That is not, it's only what is reasonable. I mean, the European partners shouldn't consume half of the budget, for instance. That is exaggerated, considering that they don't have equipment. And also taking into account, of course, that the salaries maybe are higher there. So this is a question of reasonable cost of staff, but not over staff, but not only under staff. I mean, salary, we know already that they are different.
I have a question just about results. Is any project already completed, strand 1, and then available at as a summary of at the portal?
No, not yet.
yet.
Not yet. Outcomes are not yet uploaded on FETOP. There will be in the future. They are fine-tuning this platform because we have started recently and it is not adapted to our programs yet. We are using, as I said before, a platform that was developed by another program. So the aim is that in the future it will be, and that is why when you deliver your deliverables, you are asked to indicate the level of dissemination, if they will be sensitive or public. In case you decide to make them public, of course, main result that other university, other people, other stakeholders should be made public, because we are interested in let our results known by others. But there are other deliverables that are private because they contain personal data and because the information is not relevant to third people. For instance, information concerning the training, the number of teachers that travel, the signature of the training, that is not relevant. So that is sensitive. And in the future, all these deliverables made public will be published, but we don't know yet. I don't have an answer for that.
Next.
My questions. First of all, dear Marisol, thank you so much for your presentation. Now it's more clear for us how we can create the project for Strand 1? And one more question. What about, if I correctly understand you, in the team of for Strand 1, we can include one partners with a very big experience because they need some person who can lead it. Yeah,
Of course.
Combination.
not only newcomers. So
Of course,
at least one.
It's necessary to have also experienced universities there supporting the newcomers.
Yeah. Okay, thank
But
you.
it is important to clarify what is the role of the newcomers and how the experienced universities are supporting newcomers to develop their potential in the program. Because in some proposals we see newcomers, but experienced universities are still keeping the lead of the work packages. That is not a good practice. They should at least co-lead the work packages, and the experience help the newcomers to get into the program and to know how to work in the program. Next, yes.
Good afternoon, dear Marisol, Gulnara, and dear colleagues. My name is Ayjan, and I'm from Osh State University. And my question is not about this exactly Strand 1, but generally about the Erasmus Plus project proposals. So we submitted the proposal in 2024, but unfortunately it was not selected. So you gave the feedback to us. And but you also mentioned that when we apply again, there should be some innovations, right? So should we how to say, change our proposal according to your suggestions? And should we add something completely new to our project, or should we just correct our mistakes and complete the missings in our proposal? This was the first question. And second question, you said that when we submit the proposal, the idea should be new in our region 6, or like something completely new which was never funded by Erasmus Plus project. Thank you.
No. Yeah. So the first question, I cannot reply because I didn't see your assessment, but the proposal was assessed by external evaluators. So they gave their opinion, and they are also assessing you in comparison to all the other proposals. So maybe in this call, your proposal was compared to the others. They had to select the best proposal, was not the best to be included in the main list. But in next call, if you apply, even if you do changes, that doesn't ensure you that because you are competing with other projects that are completely new. So it's very difficult because sometimes there are proposals that receive a score 55, let's say. In the next one, they receive 50. What is the reason for that? They think that they have improved, but in fact, they were much better proposals. So it is difficult to say. That is not a reason to think that if this year I will have, I have 55, next year I will have 60. So there are many factors that we cannot control and depend also on your competitors. This is a competition. That is clear. And only the best proposal will be included in the list. And the competition is higher in Strand 2 than in Strand 1 and Strand 3. This is clear. And that is the only evidence.
About innovation.
About what is innovation. Mm-hmm. You should convince why your proposal is innovative in relation to what? To what your university was doing so far? What are you doing? What your project will bring new to the system, to the higher education system in your country? Innovation is relative. So you must convince the assessor, the person that is going to look at your proposal, that your proposal is bringing something new compared to the real situation. So I cannot say anything else without having more concrete information.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your presentation. My name is Ilya from Adam University. I have a question about Strand 1 program. is it possible if one university will be prepared 2 or 3 applications? Do you have a limit from one organization or one department, one application or not? Is it how it
In
will
the
be evolved?
submission, no, we don't have a limit in the submission of applications, but then for the financing, yes, I don't know now, 3 proposals per coordinator.
Good afternoon. My name is Valentina. I'm from Military University, and I have a question about, as you understand, we are a military organization, and do we have any restriction in the project of Erasmus Plus, and how we can communicate with civilian university in this project?
Are you a higher education institution? or-
Yes.
Yes, but you are a higher education institution.
Yes.
So you can
It's okay.
participate. And even if you are not a higher education institution, you can participate as partner, not as coordinator. But in your case, you can get the pick and submit a proposal, of course.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So just only one question. So the deadline for stand 1, when is the call and the deadline? Could you please? The same as,
Usually is from the call will be November. We
The
don't know
same.
exactly
The same.
if
The
the
same.
end of,
Okay.
but always the same.
Okay, thank
February.
you very much.
First week of February, usually that is the deadline. So far, it has been like that. Unless there are unforeseen circumstances that we cannot see, and it is maybe delayed by 2 weeks or something happened. But now the foreseen deadline is from November 24 till February 25.
We would like to submit our proposal on behalf of the biological faculty. We would be considered as newcomer or not, because in the past we had some projects. Kyrgyz National University. Whether they are newcomer or not. Because
They should prove that
Yeah.
they have never participated in the action. It's the same. I understand. It's the same university and
another department.
department.
Biological.
Yes,
They
but
did-
made it clear in the proposal that because the assessor must know that why you are claiming to be a newcomer.
Понятно, да? Вам нужно доказать в предложении, что ваш факультет никогда не принимал участие в Эразмусе, хотя КНУ принимал участие, но вы новенькие, да? The next question. Can we invite business partners? Yes?
Of course,
Yes.
they are very welcome. But please indicate what is their role, are their task, and what are they providing to the project. Because sometimes they are invited to join the consortium, but it is not clear what is their role and how they are involved in the project.
Practically, how to manage the budget when the project is approved for funding. For example, some part of the budget will come to the Kyrgyz National University. Should we employ accountant full position for this, or should we employ outsourcing company for budget management?
No, not outsourcing
Not
company for
outsourcing.
budget money. That should be managed by the university.
Usually financial обычно финансисты не на полную ставку нанимаются, да, там только часть работы, и поэтому у них маленький объем работы по финансам.
For the financial management, you have to follow national rules, mainly concerning the tenders, the purchase of equipment, national rules, and the practices of the university. And keep track of all the expenses, of course. Even if you have lump sum too, you should prove that you have followed the rules for the management of your budget. Your internal rule and the rules of the university, because all the universities have rules. They cannot spend money like that.
Thank you for your presentation. I just wanted to clarify. So in order for us, we are newcomers. In order for us to submit a proposal, we need to have, can we just, without an experienced university or institution, can we just apply ourselves, or do we need to work with somebody? Yeah.
Of course, you can apply, but it will be more difficult for you if you are a newcomer. So our advice is to start as partner, accompanied by another institution more experienced, and then start step by step.
Yeah.
In the next step, but nothing is forbidden concerning that. I mean, you are perfectly allowed to submit a proposal as coordinators.
I see, but there is a requirement that at least 2 higher education institutions have to submit together, right? Or can just single institutions submit by themselves?
Only one institution on behalf of the consortium. So the coordinator is only one institution that submits on behalf of the consortium,
And there
but
have to be
concerning
2
the eligibility, 2 higher education universities per country. In national project, 2, in cross-regional or regional projects, 2 per country.
Thank you.
And 1 in Europe. 1 higher education per country in Europe. If you have 2 countries in Europe, for instance, at least 1 university per country, because some cases of ineligibility where that was the reason that the European partner was not a higher education institution. Always in cross-national, always 1 university from Europe per country, 2 universities per country. Yes, 2 per country.
Минимальный консорциум для национальных 4 университета, 2 европейских, 2 из Кыргызстана. Для мульти тогда получается 6 университетов, 2 с Европы, 4 из центральноазиатских стран. 2 страны как минимум. Если национальный, 4 вуза должно быть как минимум. 2 вуза европейских из 2 разных стран и 2 вуза из Кыргызстана, например.
They are the same. The criteria are the same for strand 1 and strand 2 concerning the number of participants.
Еще
There are more
вопросы
questions
онлайн
in the
есть?
online?
Нет, no more questions. Устали? Нет вопросов?
No more
Everything is
questions.
clear? Okay.
Thank you very much for your attention. And thank you very much to Kenesh. I was visiting Kenesh and his team yesterday, and they are a team now. So you need to create a team if you want to submit a project that is clear. And they already know how to do. I saw that yesterday. And thank you very much for your contribution. For me, it would be also interesting to see from you your advice, because you didn't present your part. What are your recommendations for submitting an strand 1? Yes, can you add something more that according to your experience as a coordinator of projects?
Of course, can I answer in Russian? Or конечно, в первую очередь это внимательно прочесть требования к предложению, проектному предложению. Почему? Потому что действительно они смотрят на качество проектного предложения. В первую очередь это relevance, то есть насколько ваша цель, задачи и поставлены и соответствуют мероприятиям, которые вы запланировали. И, конечно же, необходимо очень тщательно продумать индикаторы, которые должны быть измеримыми, и часть из них должны быть верифицируемые индикаторы. Вот. Ну и есть моменты, когда одно и то же повторяется в нескольких частях проекта, и, допустим, логическая матрица, да, и описание проекта должно все совпадать. И время, и количество участников, и все мероприятия, все должно быть совпадать. Вот. Ну и, конечно же, участники сами, ну, в самом первом проекте, когда вот Канадьевич, у меня не было никаких партнеров, имеется в виду вузов, да, по Центральной Азии. Я просто написал всем международные отделы этих университетов и по сайтам нашел заведующих кафедр соответствующих и написал им письма. Вот у меня такое есть предложение, как вы на это смотрите. И даже после того, как я разослал эти письма, одна заведующая кафедрой из Алматы сама лично прилетела с Алматы в Бишкек посмотреть, кто я, что это за проект и так далее. Поэтому это вот из моего личного опыта.
Всем огромная благодарность. Одна ремарка, тут Дипакадемия, представитель сидит. Я допустила ошибку в своей презентации. Новый проект вы не выиграли, это Академия управления при президенте с Иссык-Кульским. Да, прошу прощения за неточность. Да, мне уже проректор Дипакадемии написал, говорит, мы что, выиграли проект? Нет, прошу прощения. Это моя техническая ошибка. Вот, так что всем огромная благодарность за участие сегодня. Ждем ваши новые проектные предложения. Удачи вам в подготовке. Ура! Спасибо.